Hey guys, it's Larry Greenberg, and today we're going to take a look at the Oregon Scientific WR601 Emergency Portable Weather Radio. As you know, summer is fast upon us, and with it brings storms. There is severe weather all across the country, and it's important that you stay informed when bad weather is coming your way. A weather radio like this will do just that. This one is a little bit different than the one I previously showed you, as this one will actually receive alerts from the emergency alert system that's available in the United States when impending weather is coming to your area. So you have to program it up based on where you live, and in addition to getting your local forecast, it will automatically alert you when bad weather is approaching. And I'll show you all that when I get into the radio. So let's first crack open the packaging and I'll show you what's included, and then I'll go over some of the features of the WR601. So I've already opened this. Obviously I've been using it. It did come in blister pack, which I had to cut apart to get open. So no kind of original packaging here. But let's get all the components out and I'll show you what they include in here, because there is a couple different things worth showing. Of course, nobody likes blister pack. It's probably my least favorite packaging. I think I almost cut myself on this, like I do almost every time when I go to open blister pack, but I kind of understand why companies have to do it with theft and other things like that, but not my favorite form of packaging. All right, I think I got everything out of there. So here are all the components. The radio itself, which kind of resembles a small walkie-talkie. We'll get to that in a second. This is the belt clip, because this radio is portable. You can take it with you. There is a cradle for keeping it charging at home, along with a wall adapter. And then in addition to that, you have all the manuals and instructions. And those are important because, like I said, the radio does need to be programmed. So every kind of area around the country has a code that corresponds to frequencies that transmit radio information. It's called a SAME code. Hopefully you can see that on the front, S-A-M-E. That code has to be programmed into the radio. After you set the time and the date, that's the first thing you need to do to ensure that you'll get not only your local forecast, but emergency alerts pertaining to your specific area. Once you have that programmed in, you're kind of good to go, and that's really all you need to do. The only other options with this is setting up how you want to receive your alerts, as far as when and in what form, because it does have a couple different ways to notify you. Let's just take a quick look around the radio real quick. You can see the large speaker in the front. On the side here, there are rubberized buttons for the volume up and down. You also use those to do things like set the time and change the numbers for your code. On the top, it has an input for external speakers, allowing you to plug in external speakers if you want. This is the kind of main control button that controls what alerts come in. And then on the right-hand side, there is a snooze button. This has a couple different alarms that you can set, and that will snooze them for 8 minutes. And then the port to plug in the external wall charger if you so choose. It has a wrist strap as well if you want to use that. And then 3 buttons on the front. You can see county, channel, and mode. The county and channel buttons are again used to set up the device. The mode takes you through the different modes on the front display. Right now I'm in the time mode. If I click it once, I go to the date. Click it again, I go to the first alarm. Click it again, I go to the second alarm. And one more time, I'm back to the time. Now, when I want to set this thing up to alert me, I use the top button, the one that says NOAA. If I press it once, it starts giving me my local forecast immediately. So you can hear that it's giving me my local forecast. If I press it again, it's now on. You can hopefully see the little power indicator on there. That means it's actually going to start sending me alerts if there is bad weather in the area. There are 4 different degrees of alerts that this will, alert me to, depending on the nature of the hazard. One of the 4 is actually a test. Every Wednesday, it sends out a test to make sure the radio is still working every Wednesday. I think it's at 11 o'clock. But then there's 3 other modes depending on the nature of the hazard, where it will alert you with an audible alert as well as a visual alert. And I'll get into the visual alert in a second. But the audio alert, and then it will start talking. Just like you've seen those alerts on the bottom of your TV set, it'll start letting you know what the emergency is. So if I press this button again, you can now see it's muted. There's a kind of the audio icon with the line through it. Now, when I have it in this mode, the alerts are only visual, and there's a little LED right there that lights up when an alert comes in. It will not play the message until I take it off mute mode. So when an alert comes in, it's in mute, the LED lights up, but nothing happens. You don't hear it. Till I take it off the mute mode, put it into the on mode, and then it will actually start playing the alert over kind of the voice mode. So it stores it there and it's still available to hear it. You just don't hear it when you have it in mute mode. If I press this one more time, I'm now in off mode. So now I'm not hearing any alerts at all. I can I can still access the local weather when I want, but it's not going to alert me. If I wanted to alert me, I have to go back into on mode to actually receive the alerts. So depending on how you use this and where you keep it, that'll kind of determine whether you keep it on all the time or off all the time. I'm thinking I'll put this at my family's beach house, and I'll probably leave it off when we're not there. Otherwise, it'll be getting alerts, all the time, or when there's impending weather coming. And when we're there, I'll turn it on, and then we'll be alerted when there's bad weather in the area. Now the cradle is just kind of a stand to hold it. It doesn't really do anything as far as charging it. If you want to use the external charger, you do have to take it, plug it into the side here, and then plug this into the wall. So you don't really have to use this. It just keeps it kind of in an upright position so you can see it if you were to put it on a countertop or something like that, as opposed to standing this up like this where it might get knocked over. This offers just a nice kind of position for it to be in. The holster, you can take this with you, obviously. It does run on batteries. You can see it has a battery door in the back that is sealed with a gasket. Pretty easy to get it off. You kind of have to be careful when you go to put the battery door back on that you don't lose the gasket. That's just to keep water out. But if you're out hiking or skiing and you want to be informed when there's bad weather, you could pop this thing in, clip it to your belt, clip it to your backpack or your gear bag, and then be alerted when there is bad weather around you. So the Oregon Scientific WR601 is a pretty cool little weather radio. Again, nice and portable. You can use it both at home and when you're on the trail. It is always going to be on to alert you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, providing that you keep it on. You'll always get alerts when there's bad weather heading your way. So this sells, full retail price I think is around $49. I've seen it on some websites for as low as $29.95. Pretty affordable for the amount of protection that it can provide you. So I'll put a link in the video description where you can learn more about the Oregon Scientific WR601. Should you have any questions about it, you can always drop me a line. Otherwise, you have a great day.